This is one of the top news stories that I feel like has gotten underreported in today's news cycle. Talking Points memo, which I know all of the cool kids follow what Talking Points memo has to say, right? Here is the headline. Bannon admits he advised Trump to plan a reckoning on January 6th that would kill Biden presidency in the crib. You know, just an average day in the news where some far-right, fascist adjacent, which Steve Bannon literally is. Steve Bannon, by the way, is the guy who talked about wanting to behead American politicians and put their heads on pikes outside of the White House. Anyway, let's take a look here. With glee, former Trump campaign chairman Steve Bannon confirmed on Wednesday that he helped former President Trump plan the January 6th insurrection as part of an effort to kill the Biden presidency in the crib. Was Bannon standing by a mirror? Look, I mean, a lot of people, when you say Steve Bannon is a fascist, will be like, no, he's like a proto-white nationalist or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, to me, he's a fascist. I'm trying to hedge my bets here, all right? Whenever you play Secret Hitler, the answer is always Steve Bannon. True. The Trump advisor made the comments on a Wednesday episode of his War Room Pandemic, which is, by the way, the show on which he also called for the beheading of U.S. officials. Confirming reporting in Bob Woodward and Robert Costa's book, Peril. So basically, we already knew that he had done this, but then he just, like, came out in public and said, yep, we were plotting to overthrow the presidency of the United States. And what's absolutely baffling to me is there's probably going to be no consequences for this motherfucker. Like, it's wild to me. You can be like, yep, I was the advisor for the former president of the United States, and I advised him to overthrow the incoming president. Like, imagine... Sorry, I know people do this all the time, but imagine if Obama had done that for Trump. Imagine if Obama had, like, told, like, all of lefty America to show up to the Capitol on, like, a certain day to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. He would be like fucking executed. Like no weird champ about that. Like, that's probably what would happen. Or he'd go to jail forever, right? Steve Bannon can be like, yep, we did that, and nothing will happen to him. It's such an insane double standard. Can't be shamed if that's not an emotion you feel. Yeah, it's true. Steve Bannon has never felt an emotion. Let's see. Bannon played a clip on his podcast of the two Washington Post reporters discussing the book on MSNBC, in which Costa said that in the days leading up to the insurrection, Bannon privately told President Trump to have a reckoning on January 6th. And he said to the president, it's time to kill the Biden presidency in the crib, Costa added. Bannon then cut the clip and said on the podcast, yeah, because it's about legitimacy. Look, let's look at the Economist poll, not Revolver, not the War Room. 42% of American people think that Biden did not win the presidency legitimately, he added. Bannon's view, garbled through his own puffery and bizarre manner of speaking, also appears to confirm the book's reporting that he told Trump that the day should be a reckoning. Unsurprisingly, Bannon's remarks managed to both posit the insurrection as a legitimate revolt while also placing himself at the center of events. It's another piece of evidence that further ties Trump to the violence at the Capitol, which occurred as Trump gave a rally repeating the big lie and telling his audience to go fight as members of Congress finalized Biden's win. Ostensible Spoon, today has been a fucking hard day. I've cried so much today. I just got a lot of stuff going on, you know? Bannon suggested on the podcast that the insurrection could have a dual impact, potentially stopping the electoral count but also hardening the views of the supposed 42% who bought into the big lie on some level. It is incredible what far-right political figures can get away with saying with no consequence.